So for my project, I decided to use the PICRAT model. So basically, through this model, you will observe that new technologies are helping in the teaching and learning, and it transforms teaching and learning by allowing students and teachers to learn with new learning styles, depending on the student's needs, or maybe the teacher needs to change how they're teaching. It will also introduce new tools digitally, such as videos in your instruction to give a more in-depth understanding, or new studying resources, or even giving your students just something else to look forward to in their class. And it also encourages student engagement and collaboration. So basically getting your students to interact, to do the hands-on activities, and to maybe possibly do group work. So when you look at this PICRAT model, you see the 9 different boxes. And so for my first box, which is the passive and replacing, I did a teacher uses a YouTube video in their lesson. So basically they are inserting a new digital tool, but they are not changing how a student is going to interpret something. They're more likely enhancing how a student will learn, but they're replacing paper lessons or paper assignments. As for the passive amplifying, I did a GroupMe app, which was to communicate with students and parents. So sending important details and dates or announcements for assignments. So basically, this is a way that they're including their students, including their teachers, and it's amplifying that this is important. And it's also using a technological tool. As for IR, interactive and replacing, I did students utilizing digital gift cards. So this is allowing them to do something online. It's an activity, but it's also taking away from students actually handwriting cards. It's allowing them to have an experience with technology. Then I did IA, which is interactive and amplifying, which is my example was activities where students are allowed to act out roles or events in an online format. So basically, an activity where students are allowed to portray a different character. So maybe they have options of what somebody might do, and depending on the character they're portraying, they would pick the option that would relate to that character. This is allowing them to interact, it's allowing them to experience new technology, and it's also amplifying their actual experience. Like they're learning more because they get to act as if they're that character. Next, I did CR, which is the creative replacement. So, for example, I did students create a video presentation to demonstrate their understanding of a lesson. So, this is making students actually think outside the box, think of what kind of format they want to present the information that they've been learning, and how are they going to tell you that they know what you're like teaching them. And it's replacing them just writing a paper or just filling out a worksheet to tell you or taking a test. And lastly, I did CT, which is creative and transforming. And for my example, I did students use any digital forms to brainstorm the ideas with their peers and teachers. So this is like Canva or Google Classroom, where it's allowing kids to actually get online, and it's allowing them to tap out their ideas, and it's allowing all students to actually be able to interact with each other. They're able to create their own forms and tell their ideas and brainstorm about what they're learning or if they have questions. And it's actually helpful because teachers are allowed to see it also. Next, we'll be talking about the ISTE standards that these type of elements can help students with. So I chose 1.1C, and it allows students to have more access to feedback to improve their knowledge because, as I said before, kind of like Canva or Google Classroom, teachers and other peers are actually able to respond to each other and kind of give them more insight if they need it. Also, 1.3B is allowing students to obtain information relevant to their lesson through different formats or activities. So, such as the digital flashcards or whiteboards, an activity where a student may write down their answers to a question on a whiteboard and share it with the whole class at the same time rather than taking a test or completing a worksheet and turning it in. And as for the flashcards, being online and doing it rather than sitting around and actually writing them themselves, and maybe they write something wrong, which digital flashcards could be prepared by the teacher or maybe a parent so the information is correct. Next was 1.3D, which is through the use of digital technologies as the example, the online role play of pretending to portray a character. Students are able to identify more important aspects of a lesson and how they're relevant to the real world. So basically, what they're learning in their classrooms, because they're going to have a more in-depth analysis of that or an understanding, they're able to apply how it may be important to when they grow up and when they get a job or when they're trying to learn something else. Next is 1.6C, which is allowing students to communicate their ideas and their thoughts through digital tools. So once again, such as the Google Classroom or Canva, students are actually being able to talk with their teachers or talk with their peers if they have any misunderstandings or if they're just needing extra help. And then lastly, it was 1.6, which is students utilizing the format of their choice to demonstrate an understanding of a lesson. So that's going back to them being able to create their own formats, such as if they want to do a presentation or if they want to act out a story or if they want to write a poem, it's allowing them that freedom to have whatever format they want to show you that they know what they're doing and what they're learning. So that is all I have for today, and thank you for watching.